And the trick with the recitation is that you completely immerse yourself in the recitation with no other thought. Now this is, for people who are smart and intellectual, this is not easy to do because we're used to using our mind and thought. What am I reciting? Why am I reciting? What does Guanyin mean? Where did Guanyin come from? Is Guanyin Indian or Buddhist? Is it Chinese? Was Guanyin in Alabama? You know, you start going all this sort of thing. And what you want to do is quiet that mind like a child almost that gets lost in the repetition of a recurring syllable. My little niece, when I made the mistake of reading to her, two things. I took her to Disneyland, and when she came back, all the way for 2 weeks, it's a small world after all, and she kept repeating. She entered a samadhi, recitation. The other nephew was hickory dickory dock, kept repeating. He just liked that. But they were doing it so artlessly, so innocently, that it kind of was not just cute, it was like calming, I must say. And what you're doing with the recitation is you're not trying to analyze Avalokiteshvara or Guanyin. You're not even looking at it philosophically or linguistically. What you're doing is you're allowing yourself to become one and the same with the recitation. The water, the flowing of the water, and you in the water become one, not two. And it's in that losing yourself, that immersing yourself in that simple recitation. This is so simple, you might bypass it and think, oh, there has to be more to it. The secret, if I can, and it's not really a secret, is not the name itself, but in the single-minded application of your effort onto that produces the efficacious response. When it says the way and the response intertwined, stimulus and response intertwined, hard to conceive of. You can't conceive of it because that interferes with the single-minded absorption or immersion in it. So you have to become almost soft, childlike, dumb, if you will, simple, and lose yourself in the recitation. And by losing yourself in that recitation, doing it very evenly, you're asking, there has to be not too fast and not too slow, not too loud and not too soft. I'm guessing you'll do the 3 periods where you do it walking. So there you're doing movement with recitation. Then you recite while you're sitting. And then you recite internally while you're sitting. Those are the 3 ways you do it. And essentially what you're doing is keeping that flow up. You're immersing yourself in the stream of single-minded absorption. And in the absence of anything else, the value of what is not, suddenly you'll start to have changes and transformations happening, unsought after, unexpected even. And that's why they say when you are in this state, unexpected the news arrives. It's not expected and longed for. So you don't want to go in with an expectation of this is going to happen, or I'm going to get this or that. That's still then interrupting the single-minded recitation. What you want to do is, for the 4 days, afterwards you can do all the analysis you want, but for the 4 days, go here almost like a child and completely immerse yourself, get lost in the water, get lost in the way. And by lost, I don't mean confounded or confused, but letting go to let go into. After the 4 days, you can do all kinds of reflections of what you think might have happened, what did happen, what you wished had happened, so forth. But allow yourself in this precious time you have, and these don't come very often, allow yourself to really just enter into this Dharma door as it's meant to be practiced. And if you do that, single-mindedly reciting in this very common, even when you go to sleep at night, I still do this after all these years. I do my beads. I'm just sitting there at night, and suddenly I'm thinking about taxes, my car, blah, blah, blah. And I just go my beads and go, hickory dickory, I go, oh, Guanyin Pusa, until I fall asleep. And that clearing of my heart, the clearing of my mind, opens a space for me to remember, what is this all about anyhow? Why am I so busy with all this stuff? What does the measure of a life amount to if it's just spent in this frantic grabbing, grasping, and then you get old and you die? So it's so simple to do this. It's even more simple than Chan meditation. You're not even looking into a watu or meditation topic. You're simply layering your consciousness, your heart, your body, your breath on top of this Guanyin Pusa, Guanyin Pusa. You don't even have to visualize what you think Guanyin is, because that would be an interference. It would be a projection. Apparently, the texts say, when you single-mindedly recite and say Ishin Bulan with one mind unconfused, you and Guanyin become one, not two. And Guanyin is part of your essential nature. So we go back to this inherent capacity. That Guanyin is part and parcel of your complete being. Only it's dormant. It's not activated because we interfere, we interrupt. We don't accept, we don't yield. We don't lose ourselves to it. And by losing yourself into it, it comes again, and all of a sudden it's not like there's an external Guanyin, nor is it just internal, but it's non-dual. It's everywhere and nowhere at the same time. This is called opening up the heart of great compassion inherent in each and every one of us. Being one with everyone. So that's a little bit about the recitation, I hope.